All right. It's crazy this morning. Good morning. Hi, Marion. Hi, Janelle. Good morning. Hi, Shmaleni. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rosa. Good morning, Anna. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Kate. Hi, Kristen. Good morning. Anyone else super slow and heavy and exhausted this morning? Oof. Hi. Hi, Reagan. Hi, Busy. Good morning, Abby. Good morning. Good morning. Like a turtle. Janelle feels like a turtle this morning. Good afternoon. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Namaste. Still in bed. I was still in bed. I wanted to sleep in so much this morning and just wasn't allowing me to do so. Someone even called my phone at 7:20 a.m. Like, who does that? Who calls a person on a phone? Ah, my goodness. Hi, Matt. Oh, hi, Maddie. Anna says, "Yeah, I thought I was out of this, but I had a few days of fire energy and back to emotional and tired. I don't know why the universe had all the tests ready yesterday, so today is better. Good." Janelle says, "A turtle that keeps wanting to pull my head in to hide." I hear you. Today's like officially 7 days until I'm moving. And so I was like, all right, this is the day I'm gonna just blast through some serious packing and like really be motivated and do the things. And I could not be less motivated today. Like it feels like curl up in bed with snacks and not deal with anything kind of weather and life today. So, oh no, Christine woke up sick. I'm sorry. Hi, Emily. Good morning. Good morning. Busy says, "Hey, I need a friend. May I find some here?" We're all friends here. You're welcome. Um, Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so it's, hi, Valerie. It's just, one of those days, I guess. Um, so let's talk a little bit about this energy. If you missed God, this week is so weird. Does anyone else feel like they can't believe that we just had the equinox? It feels like years ago. It was not. It was like a couple days ago. That's so strange. Anyway, if you missed the equinox activation, it's on my YouTube. And there's a meditation there that I think was pretty good. Um, I think. So if you feel so called, go check it out. And maybe it will be a nice energy boost for you to kind of help support you through the slushiness of this current energy. It's I don't know. We're in a time. We're about to be hitting some serious energy as we move towards the end of next week. Okay. And it's just sorry, my words are not coming out great this morning, but you understand what I'm saying. Like we're in a thing. It's going to be a wild ride as we, hitch our respective energies to this wave that is rising and taking us right into eclipse season, which will begin on April 20th. The eclipse window is from April 20th until May 5th or 6th, starting with a lunar eclipse and then a solar eclipse. And by the time eclipse season is finished with us, we will effectively, most of us, truly be existing in a different place. And I do mean that quite literally. Many of us will literally be in different homes, myself included. But it's it's the final leg of a really big ride that you've been on for quite a while of like learning about yourself and making changes, ending things, letting new things start, clearing, healing. And it's going to be great because you're in that energy. This is not going to feel great if you have no idea what's going on with the energy and you haven't even begun to look at these things for yourself. It's going to feel real rough. But you'll be fine and you're going to be very happy. I think we're all going to have a great time. We just have to like figure out a way to get a little bit of rest because I don't know about you, but when I am tired, I'm cranky and just no good. So, more consistent sleep is what I'm asking for because mom is tired. How it's going to be wild to see, and then we'll get to these cards. It's going to be wild to see, and you'll be here with me, so you'll see how somehow I'm going to move out of this house and be in another house, and somehow just like it's going to happen, and all my things are going to get moved. Like, it's going to be a miracle because I literally have done shit all. Like, that's how much I've done. So I'm honestly not worried, but it's still a marvel. Um, I think so too. Christine said I might sleep really good in the new place, and I think so too. I'm basically living in like a swirling pit of insane energy. So it should be better. It'll be fine. Just remember, whatever energy you're in right now, however it feels for you, energy moves. You are not stuck in energy ever, 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 ever. Okay, unless your mind has decided that you are. But this energy moves. So if you wake up on a day like today and you're kind of like, "Bleh," just remember it's not going to stay that way. It just keeps shifting and changing. And maybe there's something to lean into, right? Maybe there's something to allow and just let yourself be where you are and remember that it is going to move because it always does. Literally always does. Chris is telling me I packed up all my stuff in the 2 days before the movers came. That's kind of the vibe I'm heading towards. Honestly, I know you know this because I've been saying it already. I just can't do it in any way differently. I would be better off like spending 12 hours packing up everything all in one day than I would packing incrementally and having to live in packed places. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he says, I just remember I had a dream that you were doing Coffee Magic in your new spot. Excited to see what it looks like and if it's similar to what I saw. Me too. You'll have to come over and see it. The one thing um, that I did buy already, because this is just me, I bought couches. I bought mustard velvet couches. All right. All right. Yes. So let's get to these cards, shall we? Also, a reminder: if you're not on my email list, maybe get on there. I don't think I don't think TikTok's going anywhere, even though bunch of bunch of old people want it to leave. But just in case, be on my my list. I don't send a lot of emails out, but over the next couple weeks, Coffee and Magic is going to be on at wonky times because I'm going to be moving, as I've been saying. So I will send out emails to let you know when I'm going live and any changes like that. So to get on my email list, just go to my website, sarahmala.com, and just scroll down. You should be able to do that. Um, and that's it. Hi, Sarah. We have a lot of Sarahs on with us this morning. All right, let's get to some cards, my friends. Okay, because I feel like I could just wander all around you, just chatting about all kinds of random things this morning, and I might even forget to pull cards. So let's pull that energy in. I'm going to give you three things. You pick which one feels most vibey with you this morning, and then I'll pull, and you'll get your story for today from this deck, which is the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Today we're going to do sleepy, slow animals. So we're going to start with a turtle, sloth, and snail. Those are the three we're doing today: turtle, sloth, and snail. Who are you feeling today? Who is who is at your speed today? Turtle, sloth, or snail? You drop your selection in the comments. A shuffling. Turtle, sloth, or snail? Yeah. Oh, it's my least favorite when I do that. It's so hard to pick up the cards from here. It's just fun today, though. Oh, man. I feel ancient. All right. You're just joining us. We're about to do these sensory card pulls. Your selections this morning are turtle, sloth, and snail. Turtle, sloth, and snail. Wow. Okay. I have your turtle ready. Tell me when you're ready. Janelle says, I love these choices. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm glad you're happy with them. All right, here's your turtle. Your turtle's here. Everybody's ready. Okay, well, look at this. We have a cat. Okay. We have a dog. What? And we have the what is it? The wealth card. Let's switch out that word for abundance. Let's pretend it says abundance, okay? Sometimes we have to edit the cards. All right, so cat, dog, and wealth slash abundance, okay? This is gonna be interesting. Okay, so the cat and the dog. We know the stories of both the cat and the dog, and you're getting both today. So starting with the cat, hey, your boundaries. How are they today? How are your boundaries doing today? Have you checked in to see how they're feeling, to see if they feel neglected or ignored, out of date, ineffective? How are your boundaries doing? Boundary check. How are your boundaries today? Oh, hi, Bridgie. Hi. Um, that's my friend. So, how are they? I'm actually asking you, so I'm gonna wait for you to tell me. How are your boundaries feeling today? Are they feeling loosey goosey? Are they feeling lonely? Do they not know you? How are your boundaries feeling today? Okay, Chris says boundaries are great, solid as fuck. That's amazing. They're probably mad at me for yesterday. They feel good. I've been neglecting mine better than they have been in the past. Not good. Okay, so we're just checking in on our boundaries today. Here's good news. Good news for you. Every day is a new day to check in with your boundaries, okay? And I'm going to remind you about the same thing that I always say about the boundaries, and it's not original. Many people say it, okay? But it's one of those things you should hear all the time. Boundaries are enforced by you. When you set a boundary, you also have to set a consequence for yourself, okay? So for example, if I have set a boundary and I'm saying to my mom, I need some space. Please don't call me so early in the morning every day, nonstop. That's a boundary I'm setting, and I'm requesting that, right? And I'm saying for myself, I don't want to be called by you this early in the morning. Okay, there's my boundary. I also have to set my own consequence. What happens if my mother ignores that boundary, which is likely, right? What happens if she ignores it? Do I become angry at her and start wailing and whining and being like, "Why didn't you listen to my boundary, mom?" Or what's the consequence that I then have to enact when my boundary's been crossed? My consequence is blocking your number. So, I mean, I'm making a point with this one, but if I've said, don't call me in the morning, every morning, and it still continues, the consequence is now I'm blocking your number. Okay. This whole situation has very little participation with the other person, very little responsibility on the other person's end. When you set a boundary with somebody, their reaction to it tells you every fucking thing you need to know. And that's why setting boundaries is so hard because most of us don't want to know how shitty some of the people in our lives actually treat us. And when you set a boundary, you're going to know immediately. And then you're going to have to deal with that. And that might be ugly for you. And I'm sorry, but we're all in this together and this is how it is, right? So you set a boundary, don't call me, completely ignored, maybe even like saying, oh, um, you're a terrible daughter if you don't want to talk to me when I want to talk to you. Like, I love talking to you in the morning. It's very important to me to start my day that way. And you're just mean. You're being mean. You're being a bad daughter to me. Pardon me, ma'am. All I asked was for you not to call me in the morning. If that is such a problem for you, you obviously don't care about my needs or my energy, and you only care about yourself. Now you've shown me that through your little tantrum. And it's my job to have a consequence that I enact for that. Because moving on to the dog, it turns out, after long debate and much pondering, I love myself and I am important to me. And my energy matters. My experience on this earth matters. And while I would love for your life to be happy and full of good experiences, it is not my job to curate that for you. Turns out you love yourself so much that you will have boundaries and consequences for those boundaries not being respected. On the flip side, you may have some people in your life now that when you set a boundary with them, it actually brings you closer. Because when a person is open and honest enough with you to set a boundary, do you know what they're actually doing? They are giving you an opportunity to be closer to them and to love them better because they're saying, this doesn't feel good on my energy. And here's how you can love me better. Maybe I need a little space. Maybe this needs tweaking. Maybe don't use that word with me because it triggers me because of XYZ. I don't know. But it brings you closer, right? It brings you closer because you are being vulnerable and respecting each other's energy and learning about each other and saying, I really want to be able to be there for you in the way that feels best for you, not just in the way that I feel like I want to do it, right? So when you have those moments with people who do respect your boundaries, it just feels real good. Okay. It feels real, real good. And if you haven't yet had that experience, forge ahead and create that experience because it does feel so good. Okay. It is worth it. And it's going to make the boundary crusher people look real shitty. Okay. That's your dog and your cat. Here's your abundance / wealth card. Where are we? This is turtle. Sorry. I'm real, like, my energy's in like different dimensions this morning, so you have to forgive me, but I'm doing my best. This is the turtle, and this is the wealth card, abundance card. And it really, here's the thing. You have endless access to energy. It's infinite, truly. The only thing that moderates or dams up energy are your programs, okay? And that's okay. There's no problem with it. It's just understanding, like, do you like the program you're running and the way that it filters the abundance of energy, or is it too tight for you and restrictive? You can always change it. And right now we're in a space where it's just like, whoa, it's so much. it's happening so quickly. Everything's going, 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 going. So, as you remain in a space where you remember how much you love yourself and how important your boundaries are and how you are responsible for them, you are allowing through that self love and boundary setting all of this abundant energy to flow into your life that previously was very restricted by different programs and honestly by certain people. That happens. People do just like block energy for other people, they do it all the time, right? So, it's a really the turtle energy for this card pull is really it's just a reminder. It's not even a whole lot of do this. It's just a reminder. These are things you know. So I'm just reminding you because we're really late in the game now, right? We're in it. We're in the thick of it. It is exhausting. And sometimes you just need a reminder of the simple things like eat food, drink water, check your boundaries, right? Everything else is moving and it is a-okay. All right, that's your turtle. We're moving on to sloth. After sloth is going to be snail. If you're just joining us, hello. We are doing sensory card pulls. Your choices at this point are going to be sloth or snail. What are you feeling more like this morning? And as always, you can catch the replay on my YouTube or on my IGTV. Okay? Yeah. Jesus. Okay. We're still going. Sloth or snail? Hi, Melissa. Just shuffle these really good. Did you see that? I saw the dog too. It's like, get back in there. Get back in there, puppy. They'll do what they want. What is this? Is someone asking me a question? Here we go. Okay. It's the sloth. Tell me when you're ready. And I'm not drinking coffee right now. I already had my coffee. I am drinking like a like a cleansing tea or like a lymphatic drainage tea. I don't know. Whatever my herb lady said I should be doing for springtime to dry up the not dry up stuff. Kirsten says my poker face is awful. Well, here's the thing, and this is a side note to know about me. I agree that my poker face seems to be awful, but that's actually why I'm so good at playing poker because I sit down at that table and I do shit like that and act like I have absolutely no sense at all, but I'm actually confusing everybody. And then you never know what I have or don't have. You know what I mean? So don't worry. I got this face. Thank you, Andrew. Okay. So did you say you're ready? Yeah, everybody did. Okay. This is going to be your sloth one. And the one after is snail. Cow. Wasp. Death. Dun dun dun. Okay, let's see what the story is. I'm dying to know. All right. So cow, wasp, and death. Cool. So let's talk about the wasp first. We haven't had this one in a second. You know, or have we? Either way, this is so here's something a little specific for some of you. You are people just like really are loving to hate you right now, and there ain't a thing you can do about it. Here's why. It's not your problem. Some people, a lot of people who are not in a space right now to make any changes in their life. Like they legitimately feel like they're stuck in the way that life is for them and there's nothing that they can do. They have watched you break out of that box and it's triggering for them. And instead of coming to that with a little bit of humility and being like, oof, that's triggering for me. Let me explore that. It's projecting the anger upon you, projecting the jealousy upon you, right? When the wasp comes, it's actually a very good sign. It means like, wow, you've leveled up exponentially and you are making people lose their motherfucking minds because they're so jealous of you and they don't know how to act and so they act shitty. And what does that do? That hurts your feelings. It truly does, right? It hurts your feelings because you don't know how anybody could possibly act like that. And let's talk about that for a second because it's really been coming up a lot with clients this week. This concept of, but I don't understand how a person could act that way. Listen, guys, you don't have to, and you can't. That's the whole point, right? If you could understand how a person could act so ugly, you wouldn't be who you are. The reason you don't understand it is because it's so foreign to the way that you operate in this world. All right. Take a minute, right? Just pause for a second and think about the people who have been very present in your life, especially those that you are naming family that have made you not feel so great about yourself, maybe have been a bit abusive, whatever, however they are. Think about the way that they act. Think about the things that they say. Think about how they interact with the world around them and what so freely comes out of their mouths. Would you ever, on any day, including your very worst day, act like that towards anybody? Would you? Like, would it even be a concept for you on your worst day to act so shitty to a person, to say such a mean thing to another living being just because you're having a bad day? Would you ever? I'm waiting. Would you? Would you ever act like that? No. So consider this. If you're surrounded by people whose behavior so confounds you because you don't know how a person could act like that, that is a sign for you that you don't need to be around those people because there are people like you available to be around. And imagine what your life would be like surrounded by people who have the same standards of behavior as you do. Imagine how little stress you would have because you would always feel supported and protected because you know that none of those people would ever act so nasty, so gratuitously mean, insensitive, and ridiculous, selfish, right? Never. You would never have to worry about that again. Goals, all right? And maybe it's going to take some time. Maybe you're already there. But this is just your reminder. You're not supposed to understand how people can be so shitty. That's not your job. Okay? Mm. Now you have the cow and the death card. So let's get to that. We kind of did a little bit. The cow is about receiving. Okay? And honestly, if you are attracted to being here with me, it's because we have some similar life experiences. That's what I've come to realize, right? And one of those similar life experiences that you and I may share in common is that in our lives, we have felt that in order to be worthy of good things, we have to earn them and that we always have to be of service to others in order to be a good person, and in order to be loved, in order to be accepted. We tend to get into relationships that are very narcissistic in nature. A narcissist and a intuitive or empath is a match made in heaven, and here's why. A narcissist doesn't know how to feel empathy and is fascinated by an empath's ability to do that. On the other side, this person here, this empath, has very low self esteem. And it's really hard for them to put themselves out there and to believe in themselves. And they look at the narcissist, in the beginning anyway, and say, Wow, I'm so amazed by the way that you have so much self-confidence and the way you just put yourself out there like, I want more of that. So technically, it is a delightful mix because both of them are like, you have something that I would like and that I admire. The problem is it's all gone about in a very toxic and disgusting way, and it's an absolute no. It's a no now. That energy is a no. But it is a deep, deep program. And if you are coming out of a relationship with narcissistic personalities, you need to be gentle with yourself because that is a mind job that's going to take time to unfurl. So you need to be gentle. It is not your fault. It is not your fault, but you need to be gentle. Okay. And we're all in this space together. And one of those things we have to learn is how to actually receive from others who want to give to us. Okay. And the reason that we're so scared of receiving from somebody is that we've learned that when somebody gives us something, they're going to want something back that we may not want to give, right? There's always a catch. It's like, well, you're being so nice to me. What's the catch? Because there's always been a catch, right? Because in a narcissistic energy of a relationship, there is never a love and affection given that is free. There's always a price. There's always a hidden fee, right? And so it's really hard to learn how to receive love from somebody who just wants to fucking love you, right? I don't want anything. I just want to be around you. I like you so much. You're so cool. Like I want to make you happy. And you're like, "Ooh, what do you want from me? You want to steal my soul? Like what is it that you need?" Right? And that's a process. Really need to be gentle with yourself. Aware, but gentle. Don't do that thing where you're like, God, how could I have not seen that? How could I have been in this for so long? How? Because it is the most insidious and society supported mind fuck that we have going. Well, one of them. It's everywhere. Okay. So just be easy, but be aware. And this is telling you it's okay to receive. It's okay to receive. It's also okay to ask for help and receive the help. All of it. It's okay. Do you know how I know this? And you know how you know this? How do you feel when a friend comes to you and says, Hey, will you help me? I need help with this thing. How do you feel? Of course, I'd love to help you. Why would you think that your friends wouldn't want to feel that same way? It's the end of this cycle. Goodbye. Goodbye to this cycle. The death card is the end of the energy for you. Energy doesn't die or disappear, but it does end for people. That means you can't resuscitate this anymore. This program is whoop. So if you're still kind of hanging on because you're feeling a little scared and things are cray cray, that's all right. But just remember, it is dead, and it's a little gross. It's kind of like rotting and stuff and stinky. So say your goodbyes, let it float on out, and let somebody else use that energy for what they need it for. Okay? All right. That is your sloth. The next one, hello, Samantha. The next one is going to be snail, and it's the last one. It's the last one. So I'm shuffling. So if you're just joining us, maybe snail is for you. You can also rewatch all of this on my YouTube or on IGTV. Okay. Also, make sure you're on my mailing list. You can do that by getting on sarahamala.com and just scroll down a little bit, and then you can put your name in there. I will not spam you. Like the only time I send like more than one email a week is if like I'm having a crazy energy week and I just got things to say. But I feel like you can kind of hang with me through that if I do it. Otherwise, I don't send that many. Okay. Right. I get a lot of emails too. I get a lot of spam phone calls. This one's we're keeping. I get a lot of spam phone calls and emails, and it's just overwhelming. But maybe you want my emails. I'm hoping you do. Because a lot of changes are happening, and I just don't trust my social media to communicate anything to anybody because I feel like It's very sometimey what they decide to allow my posts to be seen by the people who follow me. It's like, how do you have 4,000 followers on Instagram and you send a post and only 50 of your followers see it? It's very like dumb. You know what I mean? It's dumb. And I'm not paying to bump my stupid post. Like, get out of here. All right. Sorry, I totally went on a little ride there, but I told you when we started that was my vibe today. All right, tell me when you're ready. This is going to be your snail. I know it is dumb, but like it's also how we are here together. So it's like, you know, I have it though. So tell me when you're ready. It's a snail. Ready, ready. Okay. Okay. So, different vibe, maybe. The spider. This is the one that jumped out of the deck. Uh, I mean, spiders do jump, so here you go. And the love card, okay. And then restriction, okay. So we're going to talk about the love card first. I think this, whatever this message is that's coming for the love card, was talked about if you were in the equinox event. I think we talked about this, and so we're going to talk about it a little more. So right now, the major shift you're making, right? And that like the collective is also making, but you're making it, your life. The biggest shift that's happening is you're changing your soil, right? You're changing your foundational stuff from being fear based to being love based. You may need to look at your definition for love, right? You may need to do that because love might be a word that is too tightly wound up with romance and other people. And that's really not the energy of this. Okay. So you think about love in this sense as being the opposite of what fear feels like. Okay. So if fear feels tight, restrictive, um, little, brittle, tough, right? If those are the words that fear, like what does fear elicit for you? You decide. Go for the opposite of what that is. What would it feel like? For me, if the opposite of those things I just said would be expansive, elastic, right? Limitless, open, soft. Okay. Take away the programs for the words and instead go with the feelings that we're looking for because we're trying to go from here to the other side. So if everything in your life has been rooted into fear-based soil, right? It's everything is fear-based. You got to pull everything up and replant it in the love-based soil. And you are. That's literally what you've been doing. Pulling shit up and putting it into different place. And it's messy. There's dirt everywhere, right? But you have to understand where you're going. You have to energy locate it, right? You energy locate it. And how do you energy locate something? You remember what it feels like, and then you allow it to come to you or you seek it out. So, what does fear feel like in your body? Ask yourself those questions. Then, what is the opposite of that? What would the opposite feel like? And gravitate towards those feelings. That's what you're planting into now, okay? Into love energy. Now, in that space of that expansive, elastic, soft, open, fertile type of energy, the spider is here to say, time to get weaving, time to get creating. We're like almost in that spot, right? Where all the ideas are coming and you're making your beautiful little environment and decorating your life and all that stuff. Yeah, it's time. You're going to have very busy little spider legs just weaving, 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 weaving. Okay. What happens if you've been spending all this time weaving, 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 and like some idiot comes through in the middle of the night and just destroys your web? What do? Do you say, well, I must not be meant for the weaving if my web could be destroyed so quickly? No, spiders don't say that. They just start weaving again because they know that that is what they are here to do. And that is what you are here to do. So setbacks are setbacks. Keep going, keep weaving, keep creating. Okay. We already talked about the restriction card. The restriction really is that feeling of, being on the other side of the love energy. The restriction is that fear energy. Okay. So does that make sense? Did the metaphor for you this morning? Because they did for me. They did for me today. I'm really liking that. Like I can really feel like the fear energy versus the love energy. And just like, what does that feel like? And like, okay, gravitate towards what this feels like. I like this. Fear energy feels like shit. So I don't like it. So I'm just gonna go over here. I got it. I actually could hear my own self this morning, and that's a thing. All right. So my friends, Friday. It's Friday. I will be back on Monday at 8:30 a.m. with more Coffee and Magic. So I'll see you at that time. I will also not be back. Oof, hold on. So I'm going to be with you Monday, and that's it for a minute. So I won't see you Friday the 31st, and I won't see you Monday or the following Friday. So I'm off for like about a week and change. And so make sure you're on my email list so that I can let you know if I randomly pop up, if I'm going to do that, and what the schedule is going to be like. So make sure you're on the email list. That's on my website, sarahmala.com. Scroll down a little bit. So I'll send you off on Monday with extra big juju. Okay. And then I will see you on the other side. And it's going to be great. And I will show you my mustard velvet couches because why not? Okay. So I love you. Have an amazing weekend. Take care of yourself. Move slow. Be super kind. And remember those boundaries. Okay. I'll see you Monday, though. So it's not goodbye yet. Okay. Mwah, mwah. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye, my YouTubes.